Greetings and good morning from the great city of Austin, Texas. Today we are taking Amtrak's Texas Eagle up to Mcgregor. Austin is a quite small station and is rather lackluster. The station has a number of logos, maps, and photos, including a map of Amtrak's entire network. The red lines represent rail routes, and the green lines represent throughway buses. There are also vending machines where passengers can get drinks. Up on the wall here is an old photograph of what appears to be Train 21 stopping here in an older era of Amtrak. Hanging from the main station building is a small screen showing our train's status, which always comes in handy. All eyes turn to the end of the platform, and from around the bend comes Amtrak Texas Eagle Train 22, headed by GE Genesis P42DC number 56. Our train arrives in Austin about 9 minutes early, and we can soon get on board. For our ride today, I booked a coach seat on the upper level of the train. The Texas Eagle, like all of Amtrak's western long-distance routes, uses bi-level superliners. Looking out the window, we can get a pretty good view of the tracks ahead. Right on time, at 9:30 a.m., our train pulled out of Austin, beginning our 2.5-hour journey up to Mcgregor. If my narration sounds finicky, don't mind it. I have only just started doing this. Anyway, I don't quite have the full skills. I have got some things to learn, and I hope that my narration will be better in the future. Anyway, back to the trip. Departing Austin, we soon meet up with the Austin Mopac Freeway. Back when I had art class out at Laguna Gloria, I would frequently use this freeway to get to and from Laguna Gloria, and it's just a different experience to see it from the train. Heading down Mopac, our train soon starts to pick up speed as the cars go by on the road. They may be going faster than us for now, but we'll soon be probably keeping up with them shortly. Entering suburban Austin, we pass both over and under quite a bit of roads as we weave around into the highways and city streets. As we cruise north, let's see what Amtrak's coach seats have to offer. Amtrak's long-distance coach seats are incredibly spacious, with more than 2 feet between my knees and the seat in front. No matter how far I stretch out, my feet don't even make it under the seat in front, which is a great luxury. Each seat has a footrest which folds down from the seat in front. They are kind of stuck due to age, so prepare to move them with your hands. But either way, they are extremely comfortable for long distance travel. Not quite as comfy as a bed, but they're okay. Perhaps the best thing about Amtrak's Superliner coach seats is that you have a leg rest that folds out from beneath the seat, making it even more comfy. I could sit like this for hours and I still wouldn't get bored super easily. In addition to the leg rest, Amtrak's long-distance coach seats can also be reclined into a comfortable lounging position, making them even more comfortable place to hang around on longer journeys. Again, not quite as comfortable as a bed, but it can do for some passengers apparently. Above the seat are reading lights which can be controlled via the white buttons in the middle, but there are no air vents, which is the only complaint I have with Amtrak's Superliner coaches. Air vents are exclusively for Amtrak's sleeping accommodations. The tray table folds down from the seat in front and is rather standard and can extend across the Great Chasm for easy use. I only wish airlines had these same accommodations. We soon passed what appeared to be a concrete tower with freight cars sitting on the track right next to us. I don't know what was going on here. Perhaps some materials were being shipped to a construction site from the quarry. Whatever. It is what it is. We passed quite a bit of crossings on our way up to Mcgregor, and I was wondering if those crossings could eventually become new train spotting locations. I do like to spot trains, as I've always been into them all my life, and I actually have a number of videos on a second channel about them. Our train was soon forced to a stop. I suspected it was to let a freight train pass, as Amtrak trains do have to let the freight trains pass as they run over tracks owned by them. To my surprise, though, our train got moving again with no sign of any freight trains on the tracks ahead. I don't know why we were stopped, but it's a good thing we're moving again because it meant that we were probably going to make an on-time arrival into Taylor. Because Amtrak trains run over tracks owned by freight companies, there are frequently delays on many of their long-distance routes, and the Texas Eagle is no exception. Good thing there weren't any delays on my ride today. We soon passed a small herd of cattle, which were grazing in a field next to the tracks. Unfortunately, the trees made it difficult to get some footage. As we approached Taylor Station, our train ran through a freight yard where a number of freight cars sat dormant while our passenger train went right through without stopping. Right on time, our train pulled into Taylor. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of the train to get a good view of the station, but this is the best view I could get. We pulled out of Taylor, continuing north as the morning dragged on. It's now time to explore the train. Walking through the first coach, I realized that this superliner had been refurbished. The doors between cars on Amtrak are activated by these buttons on the doors and can be pushed by either one's hands or feet. At the front of the train was the combination dining cafe hall where passengers can get food. Unfortunately, on the half of the route that I was riding on, the Texas Eagle only offered flexible dining. At the rear end of the train was the sleeping car, featuring roomettes, bedrooms, a family bedroom, and an accessible bedroom. I didn't want to disturb the sleeping passengers, so back to my seat I went. We soon began heading through open fields of nothing. On half of the Texas Eagle route that I'm on, the scenery is okay, but I've definitely seen prettier scenery. On the other half of the route between San Antonio and Los Angeles, it is one of the most spectacular scenery you can see in all of the United States. I'll be taking that other half overnight from Los Angeles to Austin in the coming weeks, so stick around so you don't miss that one. It's now pretty much houses being very few and far between. We are now officially in the middle of nowhere. Rail travel is pretty much exclusively mainly for spread out rural areas that have fewer options. The main reason railroads usually don't go near large cities is so they don't have to compete with other modes of public transportation. This isn't totally true everywhere in the US, but it's certainly true on the Texas Eagle, at least between Austin and the DFW area. I still am enjoying passing by these rural towns. We soon head by a crossing that actually didn't have any crossing gates at all, which I think is quite dangerous. As we approached our next stop in Temple, Texas, I decided to head downstairs so I could get off and get some fresh air in Temple. The staircase on Superliners is in the middle of the coach and goes in a spiral. Downstairs, there are luggage racks where passengers can store their luggage. Make an on-time arrival into Temple and can get off and stretch our legs before continuing on. Temple, Texas is one of what is known as a smoke stop on the Texas Eagle. This is where you can get off and get some fresh air, or smoke as in the namesake. Heading train 22 today is GE Genesis P42DC number 56. Locomotive 56 are 4 Superliner coaches consisting of a dining car, 2 coaches, and a sleeper car. The station in Temple houses a lot of old equipment such as old coaches, freight cars, and locomotives. This isn't as long a stop as Austin or Fort Worth, and we soon get back on board to continue our trip north. From my seat, I saw passengers getting on and off the train. soon pull out of Temple, continuing north through central Texas. Our next stop is Mcgregor, which is where I'll be getting off. Heading out of Temple, we pass by an old Santa Fe Streamline sleeping car, as well as an old coach car. I don't know where that car was inherited, wherever. As well as Pullman built what appeared to be a troop sleeping car and an old steam locomotive. I don't know where that steam locomotive was inherited, as there is no longer any name on it. As we rounded the bend, I was hoping to get a shot of our P-42DC pulling us along, however it didn't go well. The cafe car soon opened, and I decided to head over there and grab a snack. The menu for Amtrak's cafe service is found on this board right next to the purchasing desk. I opted for a bag of Smart Food and kind of sort of cheesy type of popcorn. Never knew they were offered on Amtrak. Finishing up my snack, our train began to approach Mcgregor, and thus I decided to head downstairs so I wouldn't get stuck on the train. Into Mcgregor Station. Before heading out, I decided to walk to the front of the train and get a look at that amazing P-42DC that brought us here. These really are incredible locomotives with an extremely great design, and they just look so fit for long-distance service. Seeing as they're the ones that I've always associated with Amtrak. I'm very impressed on how they've held up for 2 to 3 decades and are still running strong. I'm definitely going to be sad to see their departure in favor of the Siemens Charger. I like looking at the superliners behind the Genesis series, seeing as they are taller than the locomotive itself. I just think it's kind of cool. Stop complete. Train 22 continues on towards Chicago. Gone and journey now over, we can head inside the Mcgregor main station building.
How was your drive?
Similar to Austin, Mcgregor is also a very small station with a number of Amtrak posters all around. On the wall here is a poster that appears to be for the Coast Starlight, however there is no name displayed. that's the conclusion of today's video. In the next video, I will be taking a flight from Austin to Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, and then take an insane 15-hour, 5,000-mile flight across the Atlantic Ocean to Johannesburg, South Africa. I hope you're ready for the longest journey and the longest video on the channel yet to date, because this is gonna be a big one. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed riding with me, and I will see you next time. Take care.